allergy season is upon us, and you know what that means: sniffles and swollen eyes, and for some unlucky sufferers, even hives and skin outbreaks. The world likes to laugh at the constant sneezing and tissues that litter your workspace, but for those who don't have to deal with it themselves, they just don't realize how debilitating it can be. Besides the obvious outward symptoms, allergies can cause lethargy, making it hard to be functional enough to complete even the simplest tasks. And pharmaceutical aid just makes that drowsiness worse. It becomes so hard to stay awake and function between the coughs and sneezes and skin irritations that it's a miracle that some of us can make it through the day. Eventually, overuse of anti-allergy medications will cause you to build up resistance to the medication. You can keep ahead of it by switching up brands and dosages very often, but honestly, is all that effort even worth it? And prolonged allergic reactions, even mild ones, can lead to full-blown infections in your respiratory system. And the fact that your immune system is working overtime, reacting to whatever it is that's causing a flare-up, takes a knock too. It just can't keep up with everything that's going on. And with all that mucus going around, you're looking at even worse infections and bacterial-driven illnesses just waiting to take hold. So let's take a look at some natural remedies. They won't just work better, they won't lose their ability to work for you over time. We'll get to the actual herbs in just a second, but first, we need to look at the ways that you can take them. Yes, there's always the option to buy concentrated forms in capsules and extracts, and you can even make them yourself. And the most popular form to take your remedies is with tea. But alcoholic tinctures and salves are often not considered at all. And don't worry, taking tinctures doesn't mean you'll be chugging an alcoholic beverage at your desk all day. Tinctures pull out every ounce of the nutrients from the herbs you put in them. A small 44 milliliter shot is going to pack the same concentration that an extract will. Most extracts do contain a tiny amount of alcohol already, and so do cough medicines. The amount of alcohol isn't going to be enough to get you buzzing if you just have a shot 3 times a day, and the alcohol itself adds the extra benefit of clearing up your breathing passages, and tinctures are absorbed the fastest of all of the ways you can ingest your herbal medicines. Salves are excellent for clearing up rashes and skin outbreaks, and depending on what you put into them, they can also loosen phlegm and clear the sinuses when rubbed on the chest, neck, and nose. The truth of the matter is that allergies are debilitating, and a single pill isn't going to solve the problem. The more variation you add to your teas and tinctures, the better. Now, let's take a look at those herbals just waiting for you to make good use of them. That's what they were made to do, after all. We'll start with the herbs that are best for clearing the congestion, inflammation, and irritation that happens inside your body before we head over to outward applications for rashes and hives. Stinging nettle. Stinging nettle is one of nature's best and most effective hay fever remedies. The peppery taste opens up your breathing with the first sip of nettle tea. But there's a lot more to this little weed than just a strong taste. Lab results indicate that the root and leaf inhibit the histamine receptors and stabilize the immune cells that are overreacting to pollen, animal hair, and dust particles. Both of these are the main reasons that your eyes are swollen and your nose is runny. They cause all that swelling, fluid buildup, and irritation. It stops the immune system from going into overdrive before your eyes can swell shut, and the inevitable coughing and irritation in your throat can take hold. Nettle stores well as a dried herb for tea. It does fantastic in a tincture, and the dry herb can be pulverized into a powder to add to stews and soups for a little extra benefit and a delicious pepperiness to your dishes. Horehound. You've probably had Horehound before, even if you didn't realize it at the time. It's been around for centuries, and it's still commonly used as the main ingredient in throat lozenges today. We did a video on Horehound and all of its amazing uses. Go have a look. There's a lot more to this little herb than just a treatment for allergies and colds. Horehound is related to the mint family, and since mint offers the same benefits, you can add it along with Horehound to treat your allergies. You'll just get a little more benefit from Horehound. They even taste very similar to each other, so their culinary and tea applications pair with other herbs the same way too. It contains high amounts of diterpene. Essentially, diterpene loosens phlegm and reduces fluid buildup in the respiratory tract, and it is antispasmodic, meaning that it relieves the taxing and sometimes exhausting spasms that strenuous coughing and sneezing can cause. It reduces inflammation in the airways, and it gives you that minty, cold burst that opens your breathing for more extended periods of time than other respiratory aids. You'll get a lot of relief from store-bought throat lozenges on their own, but it's such a prolific and easy plant to grow that you can definitely keep it in a pot right outside your kitchen. It works well in tinctures, tea, and extracts. You can even add it fresh or in the form of essential oils to a basin of steaming water to inhale the fumes. Like Vicks VapoRub, it can be spread under the nose with a salve to ease breathing difficulties. Garlic. Who even needs an excuse to add more garlic to their diets? Eating garlic every day is going to go a long way to reducing inflammation and swelling in your respiratory system overall. Then there's the huge amount of vitamins and minerals it comes with too. But garlic tinctures are a great option for a sinus-clearing kick in the morning. The alcohol will mask the strong taste of raw garlic somewhat, and it'll help to add some of the other herbs on our list to your tincture, not just for the added benefit, but also to combat the strong taste and the bad breath. When making your tincture with garlic, go for a spirit instead of a softer wine or cider. One sip is enough to clear out everything from your lungs to your eyeballs. Really, it packs such a punch that a small morning dose is enough to kick away any sleepiness that remained from the night before. Adding mint to the mix clears up your sinuses, and the garlic reduces swelling, and it removes all that fluid buildup in your chest. It also fights off bacterial infections in the entire respiratory tract. Garlic has so many beneficial compounds that you really can't have enough of it. Mullein. Mullein is such a good respiratory aid that it was one of the main treatments for tuberculosis for centuries. It thins mucus and treats coughs and congestion very well. It's not the most popular treatment just because the spiky leaves are unpleasant to consume, but an inexpensive tea sieve or pulverizing it to a powder in a blender will solve the prickly problem of the leaves. It's so tasty that it will add a lot of flavor to otherwise bland herbs, and there are always tinctures and extracts to consider. Black seed, human. Black seed is related to the buttercup family, and it grows naturally in the Mediterranean and some parts of Asia. You can get it in the form of extracts, oils, and capsules, but it's such a pretty plant and relatively easy to grow that it will be cheaper and easier for you in the long run to just keep a fresh supply at hand. It's the herb on our list that has the most positive feedback from clinical trials. Black seed was administered in its exact form as a nasal drip to patients with hay fever, and after just a month, patients came back with a 75% improvement at the low end. The rest all reported that they were completely symptom-free by the end of that month. And the same results came back when a new set of participants were given capsules and extracts. It cleared congestion and reduced swelling and internal irritations like itchiness in the throat and noses of the patients. It even cleared up their outward rashes and skin outbreaks. Tinctures, oils, salves for rashes, tea, and even just directly in your food. Black seed is extremely versatile in its applications and from a culinary standpoint. Now let's get into treating the outward rashes and outbreaks that come from allergies. Ginger. Ginger is usually used for congestion and to treat more serious chest conditions like productive coughs that come from infections and allergies, clearing sinuses, easing constricted breathing, and loosening phlegm. So you should definitely keep ginger at hand for all of the inward symptoms that come from allergies anyway. But very few people realize just how good it is for outward skin conditions. It treats skin rashes and hives. It reduces the inflammation around the eyes, mouth, nose, and ears, both internally and externally, and it helps to relieve itchiness on the skin and inside your throat and mouth. It has the extra benefit that its skin healing attributes don't have to be applied topically with creams and salves. Ginger brings all of the help you need by just having a simple tea or adding it to food. You can also just add some shavings or extracts to your bath water. Ginger is very nutritionally dense, and you should be taking it as an immune booster anyway. Besides, it's so useful in the kitchen that a lot of the benefits can come straight from your diet already. And there's no shortage of ginger to be found in all kinds of extracts, oils, teas, and powders. And it pairs well with other herbs, especially with those that might not taste as good. Ginger has a very overpowering, yet pleasant taste that greatly improves the experience when you're combining other, less pleasant or bland-tasting natural aids. Then there's the popular and very effective treatment of honey and ginger. Most of us mix our honey into ginger tea because it tastes great. However, the heat from the water will kill off a lot of the beneficial compounds in honey. So to treat allergies, it's best to sprinkle powdered ginger over a teaspoon of honey and take it throughout the day as you need it. Honey. And speaking of honey, besides being great for runny noses and sore throats, and to reduce inflammation, it's also great for topical applications. As we mentioned before, honey needs to be ingested raw to get all of the benefits it has to offer. Honey is antibacterial, so it will help to keep rashes and hives from spreading. It's so good at staving off infections that it's been used for burns, open wounds, and acne for centuries. But it is very sticky, and it might not be very comfortable to cover your entire body with gluey honey all day. Luckily, a little goes a long way. You can add it to a salve and get all that you need from that too. Tallow and beeswax are great options, but you can always just go for plain old aqueous cream that you can buy from any store, or any other unscented water-based cream will work just fine too. Chamomile. Chamomile is the best option for those who have sensitive skin or are prone to allergic reactions from topical, scented creams and lotions. A plain, water-based cream that is infused with chamomile extracts is going to go a long way to offer some relief to those outward outbreaks. It's by no means a cure, but it really relieves the burning and itchiness that skin irritations bring. In the form of a delicious tea, it also lowers histamine levels and a gentle general relief from allergy symptoms. Rooibos tea. You probably haven't heard of rooibos before, but you really need to get your hands on this South African tea. Rooibos is anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and hypoallergenic. Tea bags are soaked in boiling water and left to cool down completely. The tea is then soaked up with some cotton and used to swab inflamed acne, burn wounds, rashes, and hives, and even to treat eye conditions like cataracts, eye infections, and the running and swollen eyes that come with allergies. It relieves itchiness, inhibits the spread of hives, and hydrates dry skin. Even the puffiness around your eyes, mouth, and nose will go down by simply placing a damp tea bag over the affected areas for a few minutes. Honestly, rooibos deserves an entire video for itself. It's got such a wide variety of applications that it should be in every household by now. And it's the best base for any herbal tea you can ask for, meaning that you can add just about any herb to the pot and it will improve the taste and how you absorb the nutrients exponentially. It's perfectly safe for children with any chronic medication, and it just tastes heavenly. It offers mild relief to allergy symptoms, and it's very high in antioxidants. Besides being a common tea sold in stores all over southern Africa, a lot of tea shops and herbal stores around the world do keep it, but it's not exactly commonplace, so it can be hard to find. You might have to rely on online sources to get it. But get yourself a few boxes. Once you get your first sip of this fragrant tea, you're going to be hooked for life. Aloe Vera. And finally, aloe vera. Its applications to skin irritations, acne, warts, cold sores, hives, and rashes are incredible. It's not just the antibacterial and antiviral qualities that treat and prevent the spread of outward conditions that make it valuable. It's aloe's effectiveness to reduce swelling and puffiness, while simultaneously repairing the skin that puts it head and shoulders above other topical treatments. Cold sores and bumps on the face, especially, tend to spread and leave scars that take months to fade away. Aloe vera doesn't just treat and prevent their spread, it's also one of the best scar reducers you can find in nature. Aloe can be used fresh by simply snapping a leaf to reveal the gummy substance inside and spread on the skin like a salve. But since it's so rarely sold fresh, you will have to seek out infused creams and extracts. It's very possible to grow it yourself, but only if you live in a climate that doesn't get cold enough to receive snow in winter. When it comes down to it, pharmaceutical aids are never effective in the long run. And why should you shell out a ton of money when nature already has a plethora of options just waiting to give you a hand? Get planting, go foraging, or get your herbs from others that do. You'll have a wider variety of treatments to choose from, and they'll work so much better, with none of the adverse reactions that you need to look out for that comes with chemical aids. Tell us in the comments, do you already use some of the herbals on our list? Or are you here because the common treatments stopped working for you and you're looking for better alternatives to give you some much needed relief? If you found this video helpful, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on any new videos of the vast pharmacy that's right outside your door. Until next time, keep growing, keep exploring, and never underestimate the power of nature. Disclaimer: I am not a medical doctor. If you are on chronic medication, pregnant, or suffering from any health condition, please consult a medical professional. I am here to relay my own thoughts and opinions. My videos are entirely based on my own research and experiences.